去。
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
哦，找了那个三文鱼罐头厂是吧？ 哇，好梦幻哦！看到我眼睛有点疼，像酒吧一样。哇，这是一艘船哎！平时住在船里。
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
还有味道呢，鱼腥味吧？哦，不对，这是水烟吧？
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the
cannery.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Whoa. 大恐龙吗？
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. He took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
不知疲倦，专注。
Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Go, go.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Hopi. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
这么厉害啊！造了一座城市，那是国王了是吧？
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
什么时候等他这种幻想吞没了整个画面之后，他应该就
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
没了吧？
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet,
都是假的吗？
were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor,
市长选举，
and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
我的妈呀！
He'd conquer a city.
我已经
then
不想再
immediately
切了，
push
好
on.
累哦，好累，不切了，不切了。
New Louisville.
我已经没心思切了。
St. Louis.
贵贵，
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
回不来了是吗？呆掉了，你傻掉了这儿。
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
漂亮的王子，俊俏的王后，王后。
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
灿烂的彩虹，
radiant rainbows.
Oh.
He followed the sound of her
它的银竖琴嘛，好看一点。
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
好多鱼啊！我已经变成现实了，感觉。
But he was so proud of having created it.
别给我塞鱼了。
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
哇哦！ 走开，走开，别再给我切了啊！
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
沉迷于自己的幻想之
And
中
then。it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. was hard to argue with him.
啊？啥？哎，我是国王，是国王，放开我！
He began to forget the world we know.
这不还是切鱼的场？
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
前面是他自己吗？
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
你在干啥啊？啊？搞什么呢？兄弟，别犯傻了，回家吧。我靠！
I still thought I could save him.
哎，哎，不给走了。
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
加冕了，把自己锯死就是加冕了，是吧？那走吧。
The palace would be packed with his companions.
哦，大家好，我是你们的新任国王。你们好，你们都没有脸。智者三色猫。哦，茉莉。大猫。
His queen waited, holding his crown.
他的王后正手捧王冠等着他。我的王后为什么这么胖？
There was only one thing left to do.
而且这墙上为什么都是鱼啊？我靠，我已经不想看见鱼了。
Bend down his head.
这低下头不会把自己头给锯了吧？这戴王冠还是锯头啊？我靠！这
The rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
我的妈呀！
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
切鱼的把自己头给切完了，好吧。好的吧。
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
我踩在上面踩的好爽，泡沫纸可以踩。哎呦，哦，好爽！泡沫纸好爽哦。
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
就他自己的房间吗？
All that's left now was to tell you
耶，
about
这
that
就
last
是我
night.
自己的房间啦。哦，女主角腿好细哦。
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
去拿礼物了，走廊。
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things.
鹿，就刚开始的那只鹿，哎，跳跃的姿势都一样。
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
是他们以前的家具。
Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Huh?
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
这是他写给他小孩的。
I just want
这
to
应该
meet
是
you
他孩
and
子
tell you
的
all these
孩子的
stories
视角吧，
myself.
要出生了。
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
"他妈死了，然后他儿子活下来了。就说他生他儿子的时候死掉了。OK， 我还以为他们家族就这样灭亡了，结果还留了个儿子，就留了个儿子，让他一个人去承受这些东西。还不如没生下来呢，说真的。我靠！这是真实吗？为什么会有真人照片啊？是真实啊！别吧！这是游戏制作组啊，吓死我了！家族遗传病啊，但是他们家族每个人手上都会有那种斑，那种斑我不知道是病还是什么，但有些人死的都是单纯的死于意外啊，这都是意外，无法估量的一些东西。也无法预测。 是每一个人的房间，是那个童星的房间。哎呦，右下角这个好瘆人哦！我的妈呀！哦，走下去这个眼睛好大，哇，大的有点夸张了，兄弟。这他们家的小动物吗？这是那个罐头哥，在防空洞里吃了30年的罐头。他的曾祖母为什么能活那么久啊？他的孩子全死了。这游戏做了5年吗？2012到2017。哇，这些做游戏的人好猛啊，好厉害啊！哦，因为曾祖母跟那个奥丁没有血缘关系，剩下的人都是有血缘关系的，对吧？还有那个 Seven， 哦，没有血缘关系的就会用个叶字来写在上面。但是女主爸爸也死了，这个只要成为了他们家族里的人之后，应该就会同样的受到诅咒。但其实我觉得，你从另一种角度来说，也不能算是诅咒吧。这本来就是人所要经历的事情，不可能有人会不死，对吧？只不过是发生了一次次意外而已。每个人有每个人自己的生活的轨迹，还有路程。有的人路程短，有的人路程长而已。好吧，那么这款游戏就到这里结束了。如果大家喜欢我的视频的话，别忘了素质3连。谢谢大家，我们下期视频再见，拜拜。